Nicknamed the Monster, Naoya Inoue was recently crowned the best pound-for-pound boxer on the planet. His staggering 88% knockout rate and at ease at which he has taken over the Bantamweight division has shocked the boxing world. With each win, Inoue cements his Hall of Fame career, and yet he is unlike any other superstar boxer. So let's take a look at the story of the most dominant fighter in boxing, Naoya Inoue, and see what makes this monster so special. Growing up in Japan, Naoya Inoue was born in Zama, Kanagawa, Japan. The city has a population of roughly 130,000, and one of them happens to be perhaps the greatest Japanese boxer of all time. However, Inoue's boxing journey is not your typical one. Generally speaking, boxers often come from rough backgrounds and get in trouble a lot growing up before finding boxing as an outlet. That is the traditional boxer story, but it doesn't fit Inoue. Instead, Inoue grew up in a stable home with his father, Shingo Inoue, and his mother Milo and his brother. As a kid, Inoue loved to play soccer, and maybe that's why he has such amazing footwork. But his love for boxing wasn't coincidental either. In fact, his father Shingo started training in boxing in his early 20s, when Naoya was just a little baby. However, because of other obligations in his life, Shingo could not properly pursue the career path of a professional boxer. He owned a painting company and also helped with his family other businesses. So his father decided to forego his boxing dreams and work on making a good living for his family. So it is safe to say that the future boxing champion came from a humble beginning whose roots didn't abandon him as he rose in fame and stardom. How he started boxing. As a baby, Inoue was always around boxing because of his father. And one reason why Inoue's father was comfortable giving up his boxing dreams was because he saw that his son, only 5 years old at this time, had not only gained interest in the sport, but was obsessed with it. So Inoue's father put down the boxing gloves and started training Inoue properly. Now you might think that being the coach's son might come with some special privileges, but it was actually the opposite. Inoue's father made sure his son never cut any corners and was extremely strict with him. And don't worry, this didn't result in any type of animosity towards his father, as Inoue to this day says his father is his only boxing hero. It wouldn't be too long after that when Inoue started his amateur career. As an amateur, Inoue would go on to win the Japanese Interscholastic Athletic Meeting and the Japanese Junior National Championships in 2009, along with earning a bronze medal in the Asian Youth Championship. He also won the Japanese Junior Selection Tournament and came second in the Japanese National Championships. So it is safe to say that whatever training his father put him through, it was well worth the effort. Professional career. In 2012, Inoue decided to turn pro with the blessing of his father. In fact, he had one single condition prior to turning pro. This was he would only do it if his father remained his trainer. The bond between the father and son is truly special and has to be at the heart of Inoue's success. Inoue also signed a deal with Hideyuki Ohashi, former professional boxer and two-time minimum weight champion, that he would never fight an easy opponent. And judging by Inoue's resume, it is safe to say that he has abided by that agreement ever since.
Hey, look up this young fighter called the Monster. You ever hear Monster?
No.
Japanese fighter called Monks. This is a monster.
Crazy dude.
Yeah, let's check him out.
Inoue would come to earn the nickname the Monster because of his incredible 88% knockout rate. Having dynamite for hands in April of 2014, Inoue started his title-winning reign by knocking out Adrian Hernandez for the WBC light flyweight title. He followed this up by claiming the WBO super flyweight title in December of the same year by knocking out Omar Navarez. And then in May of 2019, Inoue would get his hands on his first bantamweight title as he knocked out Emmanuel Rodriguez for the IBF and the ring title. Inoue's most dangerous opposition would come in November of 2019 as he took on former 4-weight class champ and legend in his own right, Nonito Donaire. Now, despite Donaire's being older than Inoue, he withstood the monster's power and the two men put on a fight to remember. Inoue would win a unanimous decision and fight would go down in the history books as the Fight of the Year winner.
From one Japanese legend
to rematched in 2022, and this time Inoue left no doubts as he TKO'd Donaire in the second round. Soon after, Naoya Inoue would unify the bantamweight division by knocking out Paul Butler. As Inoue's popularity has grown, so have his pockets. In 2018, as Inoue fought the likes of Jamie McDonnell and Juan Carlos Payano, he earned $500,000 per fight. The following year, in 2019, he doubled his per fight earnings, netting a cool $1 million to fight Nonito Donaire. Afterward, Inoue signed a multi-year deal with Top Rank Promotions in 2020, and his earnings rose from $1 million to $1.5 million. Monster accomplishments. Inoue is yet to turn 30 and has already amassed a Hall of Fame career. He has accomplished so much that his accolades deserve their own section. So let's start off with some incredible feats. Inoue became the fastest fighter in history to win 2 world titles, as it only took him just 8 fights to accomplish this feat. Naoya Inoue fought for world titles in 7 fights and won all of them. Overall, he has won 8 belts in 3 weight classes and currently holds the ring, IBF, WBA, WBC, and WBO Bantamweight titles. He is currently the undisputed Bantamweight champion, making him the first ever unified Bantamweight champion in boxing history. So no wonder he is ranked the #1 pound-for-pound boxer on the planet currently. He is riding a 24-fight win streak, and there seems to be no stopping the monster. His personal life. Inoue began dating his wife Sakiyo when the two were still in high school. They were together for nearly 7 years before tying the knot on December 1st, 2015. When the couple first got married, it was Inoue's wish to have 3 children, and in April of 2021, they welcomed their 3rd child, a baby girl. Previously, they had 2 boys in 2017 and their first daughter in 2019. His children have been a big source of inspiration for Inoue and are one of the main reasons why he trains as hard as he does. Inoue has been asked whether he would want any of his children to follow in his footsteps and become professional boxers, and as of right now, Inoue isn't sure if he'd want them to do that. Perhaps the boxing champ wishes his children to carve their own paths in life. Coming from humble beginnings, Inoue has largely kept his modest life. He is the everyman's fighter. He is famous for driving a Toyota Crown and going to his favorite Korean barbecue place. He doesn't spend his free time partying. Instead, the monster gets cozy with his family and does movie nights, where his favorite Disney movie is Aladdin. He would rather spend his free time at Disneyland taking his kids on different rides, especially his favorite, Space Mountain. And when he isn't doing all of that, he's relaxing to some Japanese pop music. We told you, Naoya Inoue is not your typical boxing superstar. What his future holds. After knocking out Paul Butler on December 13, 2022 to become the unified Bantamweight champion, boxing fans around the world have been buzzing with excitement, trying to figure out Inoue's next move. After the knockout win, Inoue hinted that he wouldn't be competing at 118 pounds for much longer. So it seems as if the Japanese superstar has his eyes set on the junior featherweight division. And if that is the case, we just know boxing fans are salivating at the fact that they might get to see Inoue face off with WBC and WBO junior featherweight champ Stephen Fulton. Fulton is also undefeated with a record of 21-0, so one of these 2 unbeaten stars would have to take their first career loss. And if we had to guess, it would not be the monster Naoya Inoue. So Inoue's future seems to be brighter than ever, as his next move could further etch his name into the boxing history books by becoming a 4-division champion. This would put Inoue's name alongside other 4-division champs like Sugar Ray Leonard, Floyd Mayweather, and Manny Pacquiao. Now, if you enjoyed this video, then please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the little bell beside it so that you're notified the next time we upload a new video. And with that being said, you just watched the story of the most dominant fighter in boxing.